Good morning ulit. Good morning. Nandito na naman po ang inyong Sir Ian. And we will be discussing the application of the previous topic that we have discussed. Let's see here. Okay, let's start. Our topic for today is the application of sum and product of the roots of quadratic equation in word problem. Yung previous lesson natin, inalam lang natin ano ba yung sum, ano ba yung product ng mga roots na na-solve na po natin. The latter part of our previous discussion, diniscuss din natin paano ba makukuha yung sum ng roots without actually solving just by using the values of A, B, and C. So yung product at saka po yung atin pong sum ng roots, pwede na natin makuha. This time, we will be talking about the application sa word problems. So, meron na po tayo ditong word problem, i-apply lang po natin yung natutunan natin on the previous topic. Siyempre, kapag tayo nag-o-open ng topic, we will be having our aim. Ito po yung goal natin. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to, when I say you, tayong mga estudyante po, kayo. The first one among our targets is to incorporate the formulas of perimeter and area in the sum and product of the roots of quadratic equation. So meron tayong formula po ng perimeter, meron tayong formula ng area. Try lang natin na i-connect dun sa previous topic natin, dun sa sum and product of the roots. Paano yun? Mamaya makikita natin. Next one will be to use this knowledge in solving word problems involving quadratic equation. So, yung alam na po natin kung ano yung sa perimeter at sa area, i-adapt natin sa word problems na mag-i-involve sa quadratic equation. Lahat ng matututunan natin, i-apply natin sa problem. As we move along sa our pong discussion, makikita po natin sa parting dulo, we will be having an example. Tanungin muna natin, what is the common shape that involves the sum and product of the roots of quadratic equation? We have here different shapes, madami. Pero yung most common na ina-applyan po natin, rectangle. Kapag po alam natin yung shape na rectangle, and we will be going back to our topic of sum of the roots or even the product of the roots. Again, yung roots na sinasabi natin, ito yung sagot, yung kinompute po natin. Now, ito yung dapat nating tandaan. Nakalagay, note. The dimensions of the rectangle will represent the roots of the quadratic equation. Yun daw dimension ng rectangle ang magpepresenta dun sa roots o yung mga sinosolve natin ng quadratic equation. Ngayon, ang tanong, ano ba itong mga tinatawag nating dimensions? Kasi yung iba, nung bata ako, pag sinabing dimension, ibang dimension, ibang mundo yung tinutukoy. But here in math, when we try to talk about the dimension, it is the measurement of the sides, notably the length represented by L and width represented by W. Pag pinag-usapan natin yung dimension ng rectangle dito sa topic natin, we are actually talking about the measurement of the sides. Kaya nga kung makakarinig tayo, anong kailangan mo? 2 por 2. Salitang Kastila yun, 2 by 2 ang ibig sabihin. 2 inches by 2 inches. What are the important facts to remember in using quadratic equation in word problems involving rectangle? Ano ba yung importanteng katotohanan na dapat nating tandaan sa pagsosolve natin? So dito po sa pag-aaral natin, we have to remember two formulas. These two formulas are needed to answer or incorporate quadratic equation in a word problem involving rectangle. Pag rectangle ang pinag-uusapan, kailangan natin yung dimension nila, kailangan natin yung sum of the roots, product of the roots, ang kailangan dalawang formula. The first one, this is called the perimeter. Ano ba yung perimeter na tinatawag natin? Balikan ko lang, I think grade 7 pa lang sa math ninyo, dinidiscuss na to. When we talk about perimeter, it is the sum of the measurement of all the sides of a polygon. Ang magandang halimbawa nito, pag magbabakod kayo, susukatin nyo lang yung paligid, wala kayong pakialam dun sa loob. So kapag na-i-add nyo na lahat, yung nasa paligid, yung sukat ng paligid na yun, yun yung perimeter. Ang formula natin sa perimeter ng rectangle, so I'm going to put an emphasis on that one, rectangle yung pinag-uusapan natin. P stands for perimeter is equal to twice the length plus twice the width. Kung familiar tayo sa rectangle, let's say for example, this cellphone, rectangle, dalawa yung ating width, dalawa yung ating length. So dahil magkasukat itong length, magkasukat yung width natin, pag inad sila, perimeter. So pwedeng isang length times 2 dahil parehas yan, isang width times 2, yun ang i-add. Doon po nang galing yung formula natin. Ito. Ngayon, medyo mahirap kasi dalawang beses kang magmumultiply sa 2, saka ka palang mag-a-add. Kaya nandito po yung OR natin. Common factors sa kanila ay 2, pwede mong ilabas. Ayun. Ang matitira sa loob, wala na yung 2, L na lang, wala na yung 2, plus W na lang. So we will be using more this formula pagdating po sa perimeter natin. So one of the two formulas needed will be the formula sa perimeter. Remember, ang pinag-uusapan po natin dito, rectangle. Ano pa yung isa aside po sa perimeter? The second one is called the area. Ano naman yung tinatawag po nating area? It is the amount of enclosed region occupied by the rectangle measured in square units. Ito yun. Yung mero exponent na to. So yung area po natin, kung nagbakod ka, yung nasa loob naman, yun yung region. Kaya nga pag nabili kayo ng lupa, ilang square meter area yung tinutukoy. The formula that we will be using, A is for area equals, tanda pa natin itong L, length, and then yung W, width. Ayan lang po yung simple. We have here now two formulas that we have to remember. The first one is the formula for perimeter. The second one will be the formula for the area. Okay? Let's move on. How to incorporate these two formulas in the sum and product of the roots of quadratic equation. Balikan lang natin yung una. Previous discussion natin, yung previous video natin, the sum of the roots is represented by r's of 1 plus r's of 2. Ito, add, dalawang root. Now, similarly, ito yung in like manner, the perimeter has the formula P is equal to 2 times the quantity of L plus W. If we will let L at saka yung W represent yung roots natin, kailangan mawala lang yung 2. Pero still, pwede na to. Ito yung formula, and this formula, the perimeter, will be the representation of the sum of the roots. Ito na nga po yung ipinapaliwanag ni Sir. papaano po natin maire-represent siya as the sum of the roots. Ito yung sum of the roots natin. Equal natin, katumbas natin ay length plus width. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. Kailangan lang mawala yung 2. Saan po mapapunta yung 2? Sa ilalim nung P. Ayun. Divide both sides by 2, P over 2. So, ito po yung makukuha natin or value na katumbas nung sum of the roots. What about the product of the roots? Ang product of the roots natin, r's of 1 times r's of 2. Ito, pwede nating i-represent, formula naman ng area. Area is equal to length times width. Therefore, yung formula natin sa product of the roots is equal to length times width. Balikan natin kanina yung ating perimeter. Length plus width, hindi na bago. Kumakatawan sa r's of 1, kumakatawan sa r's of 2, length at saka width. So, pagdating natin sa area, yung r's of 1, L, r's of 2, W. And this is equal to the area. Ganun lang po kasimple. Para mas maliwanag, yung lecture po natin, i-apply natin sa word problem. Ito yung word problem na napili po ni Sir. And I will be the one to read, of course. Mang Juan owns a rectangular lot. So, bumili ako halimbawa ng lupa sa kabukiran at binakuran ko. The perimeter of the lot is 90 meters. And the area is 450 square meters. What are the dimensions of Mang Juan's lot? Ano nga ulit yung dimension na tinatanong dito? Ito po yung sukat ng sides. Ano raw ika yung sukat? Yung dimension na tinutukoy, ito nga yung length at saka yung width. Una natin gawin, write lang natin yung given. Ano ba yung nakikita nating given dyan? Una, perimeter, 90 meters. Pangalawang nakikita ninyo, area. Ang katumbas niya, 450 square meters. Next. Balikan ko lang yung ating standard form ng quadratic equation. Ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. R's of 1 plus R's of 2. Ito yung ating sum of the roots. Ano nga yung katumbas niya? Length plus width. At yung length plus width natin, perimeter over 2. 45. Saan ang galing yung 45? Ang perimeter ay 90 divided by 2. Constant yung 2 ha. Ang sagot, 45. Ito yung kumakatawan sa B over A. Tanda, itong R's of 1 plus R's of 2, B over A. Balikan nga lang natin. But in the formula, R's of 1 plus R's of 2 is equal to B of A nga ba? B over A nga ba? Hindi. May negative. Ito. Dahil may negative, itong 45 pala ay B over A. Instead na 45 yung gagamitin natin, papalitan pa natin ang sign kasi imumultiply natin sa negative. Negative 45. Okay po? So, ito ngayon yung gagamitin po natin. Next. Following the same pattern, product naman. Mamaya makikita ninyo pagka lagay natin dyan sa mismong problem, masasabi natin, ganun lang pala yun. Okay po? So, ang ginawa ko lang, hinimay ko muna, kinuha ko muna yung sum of the roots. And then now, we will be talking about the product of the roots. R's of 1 times R's of 2 is equal to length times width. Na-discuss ko na yan kanina. Ano yung value niya? Ito yung equal din sa area, walang over 2, sa makatwid, 450 yan. Ito nga yung kumakatawan sa formula, C over A. Yung previous topic natin, walang negative ito. Sa makatwid, hindi mo na po ito babaguhin. 450 pa rin yung value, positive. Dahil alam na natin yung sum, alam na rin natin yung product, i-assume na natin na yung A, asan yung A ay yung katabi ng x squared, is equal to 1. Ito yung pinaka-safe na gagawin ninyo. Kapag walang given, palagi nyo munang i-assume na yung value ng A, 1. This is the safest way. Kung 1 yan, saan ang galing yung negative 45? Di ba B over A? Tama? So yun po yung magiging B over A, that is 45. Dahil negative, ayun, negative 45. Ano nga yung C over A natin? 450. Eto, dahil 1 yun. 450 divided by 1, yun yung C over A natin. Dahil bawal nga po yung may magkatabing sign, minumultiply natin yung sign, positive times negative, we will come up with a negative value. Ito na ngayon yung magiging quadratic equation natin dito sa problem na ito. Kung ito na po yung ating quadratic equation, hahanapin na po natin ngayon yung atin pong dimensions. Kasi yun yung tanong. Factor out natin. Or kung gusto po natin, completing the square or use of quadratic formula, it will be okay. So kung quadratic equation yan, solve natin yung roots. Okay? I use factoring. X pinaghiwalay. Meron tayong 450 rito. Factors ng 450 na kapag ka inad, 45 ang sagot. We have here na 15 at saka 30. Dahil positive yan, parehas yung magiging sign dun sa factors. Ano yung kukuhaning sign? Kung ano yung sign sa gitna. Negative. So parehas negative po yan. Equate each factors to 0. So kada factor, equate mo sa 0, ayun yung magiging value natin. X minus 15 equals 0. Sa kabila, x minus 30 is equal to 0. Then solve for the variable. X is equal to 15. X is equal to 30. So pwede pong ganito yung pagkakasulat kagaya nung nabanggit ko na sa inyo during our previous topic. X is equal to 15, 30. Huwag niyong lalagyan ng grouping symbol. Pag meron po yung parenthesis, ordered pair na yan, hindi na siya yung value ng x. Ano po? Magiging coordinate of points na po siya. Para sure, at ayaw nyo ng ganito, x equals 15, x equals 30. Okay po yun. Ngayon, ang tanong dito, dimensions ng ating rectangular lot. At dito sa ating given, meron po tayong unit na ginamit. And that will be meters. Ayan. Dahil meters po ang hinahanap, ayan, since we are asked to get the dimensions, the answer should be, kailangan meron tayong unit. Tandaan nyo sa ating word problems, as long as meron pong unit na available na pin-provide sa atin, final na sagot natin, kailangan may unit. If we are asked, what are the roots? Okay, walang unit. Pero ang tanong dito, what are the dimensions? May unit na tayo. And this will be your final answer. Again, sana po meron po tayong natutunan. That will be the end of the discussion for the application of the sum and product of the roots of quadratic equation dun po sa ating word problems. Sana nakatulong po lahat. Again, in behalf of Ma'am Guevara and Ma'am Dayo, this is Sir Ian wishing you all the best. Mga anak, aral lang po tayo. Huwag nating sayangin yung oras po natin. Ano po? So again, have a nice day and good night, guys. Thank you so much.